welcome back to Finally Revealed in episode number 47 of Be the Change. In this week's episode, I want to talk about not giving away your power and being the driver of your change. Your change is something that came about as your reaction to something or because you want something better for your life. It's time for a change, and the best way to ensure that it succeeds is if you bring along your why, keeping your power as the fuel for your change and not giving that away. We don't realize it, but we can get lulled into old habits or people who seem to really want to help us and get kind of sidetracked into what their ideas are. It might be intriguing. Obviously, you're doing something that interests you, and so if the topic comes up and you're at a stage where you're happy to talk about your change or things that you're doing, it's natural when we talk to help each other or want to help each other or want to contribute or want to give suggestions. As you go through your discussions about what you're doing and why, and remember, if it's too early, try not to disclose a lot because too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth, and this is your dish for lack of a better comparison. And so when we sit back, and there are times when we want to sit back and kind of evaluate a situation or ease up on the gas a little bit and see how a situation plays out, I don't want you to get that confused with handing the steering wheel over to somebody else. And now somebody else is driving your change, and somebody else is telling you what to do, and somebody else is giving you suggestions or telling you how they would do it or how you should do it better. That is only going to cause you more grief and interrupt the whole point of what you're doing. I talked in a few episodes ago about how other people react to our change. So you need to be aware as each one of us makes small incremental changes or big giant lasting changes, it impacts everyone around us, and then the ripples become a wave and so on. And there can be pushback from others on some of those areas where you are now going off in a little bit different direction than from what you did before. And so there is a reaction. They may not realize it, but you need to realize it, that we want to say that those around us are encouraging us and cheering for us just as we would for them, and any suggestions or ideas that they give us is really, we can say that is something helpful, that they have good intentions. But you need to realize and remember those are their suggestions for your consideration, for your evaluation, for your file. And if you have some new idea or someone has suggested something, you can log that and come back to that if that's something that later on appeals. But to not take it as, oh, I better go off in this direction. Now, this is not to say that if you are asking someone in particular who has been where you want to go or where you are going for some advice, that you obviously asking for that are not going to consider that now and see if that might help you now. That's completely different than people coming in from the side and saying, I really liked it better when you did this, or, I don't think that's going to work out. Those are the things that need to be, blocked off, acknowledge them, thank them, and change the subject, or end the conversation and park that for another day. When you are driving the boat of your change, you are deciding the direction, you are making the changes during the course, and really you're driving this because you're the one that's living it. This is your life, this is your time and your investment, and if they want to come along, which I think that many people around you are going to make some changes as a result of your change, and hopefully very positively, they can do their own change. They can do that, in a way that suits them. And that might even be something if they go on and on and on about it. If you have someone who's sitting back and looking over what you're doing and they're still the same way that they've always been, but they have advice for you, you might say, that's really interesting. Why don't you work on that? If you're going to work on something like that, let me know how that goes. You don't have to say that's a terrible idea or stop giving me advice, but just realize that now you are impacting them. And maybe this is the signal that you're getting that you are impacting them in a positive way, because now they are thinking about what you're doing and coming up with their own ideas. And who knows, maybe that develops into something that you can then kind of work on in tandem or collaborate on a particular project. But you are the person driving your change. You are the person that, if it's a business that is filling a need or creating a new product or solving a problem, you are the person who is making a positive step for your life, and you're the one who's going to be going through this journey. If we don't have a plan that we are working, someone else is bound to have us work into their plan. And so I just want you to realize it. It can seem that we have cheerleaders and helpers. It's important to remember that this is our change and we are the driver, and the other situations, we can let them wind down if we don't give too much attention to it or energy to it. So go forward with your intention this week. I hope that distractions are minimized. Look around you and see who is contributing that has not been solicited. And what is their situation? What is their reaction to your change and what you're doing? Maybe you can help them suggest that they get into a change themselves based upon whatever it is that they're telling you. But you are fine, and you appreciate their interest and you appreciate their support, and then you get back behind the steering wheel and keep going on your change. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, give me a thumbs up. Leave any comments or questions below. I hope things are going really well for you. I think that they probably are. Subscribe to see the other videos and come back and see me next time. Thanks for watching.